Why Me, Lord? With apologies to the ladies at Tim Hortons. October 25th, 2012. This morning I was on my knees, pun intended, wrapped around a TV, installing a satellite system, when my cell rang. I touched my earbud with the intention of continuing to do my job while I answered another query about installing a satellite system. Very common at this time of year. The man's voice in my ear sounded emotional, almost cracking. He identified himself as Tom and Bobby's friend, and he wanted to thank me for the gift. In all honesty, I was racking my brain as to who this might be. After he spoke a bit more, I finally started to understand why he was phoning me. And then his voice was gone, and I had a dial tone. Many times over the last while, I have seen and reposted messages to the effect that God doesn't give you more than you can handle, and it's those tough times that make you stronger and a better person. I have also seen related posts when my Facebook friends state that they have been going through a really rough patch, and then someone kindly reminds them that things will get better. You just have to tough it out. There is a reason for all your hardship and grief. It makes you a better person. Of course, there are also the other type of posts where people say they'd like to win the lottery just to prove it won't spoil them, that they would share it with the needy. They would just like one opportunity to prove they are worthy of such a win. I must be honest and say that thought has crossed my mind more than once. Tonight, I would like to share my experience of what I believe the Lord has been putting on my plate and how I have responded. When setting out appointments for the coming day, I calculate how much time, approximately, I need to complete a job and drive to the next job, so I can give customers an approximate time when they can expect me to arrive, just so that they don't wait at home all day, especially if I know I cannot possibly be there until afternoon. Generally, this works out okay, and I usually have a pretty good idea how much money I'll make that day. Once in a while, I am surprised and pick up extra work at a customer's home, or even pick up a whole new job. I consider this to be bonus money. Not money to be spent for me, but rather money that has a whole different purpose. I think the Lord is testing me to see what I will do with my extra money. Actually, I enjoy this test because I love helping out people who need a hand up. So this extra money finds its way to the Lord's people who are going through a rough patch. For example, a couple weeks back, in the middle of the day, I got a phone call to do some work for a local bar. I spent my Friday afternoon and Saturday morning doing this work. This was bonus money because I try to take off Friday afternoon, and normally I do not leave the farm on Saturday. I was checking my prayer posts and decided that one gentleman in particular was needing all the money I earned that Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. So I made arrangements for my Facebook friend, Bobby Hopewell, in Michigan, to deliver an envelope to her friend Dave, who had been critically injured while stopped at a red light on his motorcycle. A drunk driver hit Dave at high speed, and for many days it was touch and go as to whether he would even survive. Some weeks later, Dave signed himself out of the hospital because he had no medical insurance, and he had a wife and 2 little girls at home. One of the best texts, followed up with a private message I have ever received, was from Bobby just a couple days ago, when she explained the reaction of Dave and his family on receiving the envelope from someone they didn't even know. A couple of minutes later, while I was still kneeling in front of the TV this morning, my cell rang again, and there was Dave, apologizing for dropping the phone and losing me. My friends, you cannot imagine how warm my heart was during the whole conversation I had with Dave over the next few minutes. We discussed his recovery, some of the hardships, some of the joys and fears, the type of work he did, and his hopes to return to when he recovers. He is amazingly positive, and I admire his spirit. He requires 24/7 care, which his wife provides, but they are working together to try to eventually have a normal life with their 2 little girls. Every time I help someone with my newfound money and use it wisely to help those in need, I am rewarded with another small batch of newfound money. I think the Lord is telling me that He likes what I'm doing with His extra money by looking after His needy people. And so the extra jobs keep rolling in, a bit at a time. You know what? This is far more rewarding than winning any lottery. I love my job and get to meet so many genuine people who all have a story to tell, if only we have the time to listen. I often wonder why I am so fortunate. And so, again, with apologies to the ladies at Tim Hortons, who have now told me on at least 2 occasions that my stories leave them in tears, I want to finish tonight's story with a song that reflects my life. Why Me, Lord, by Chris Christopherson. Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? Tell me, Lord, what did I ever do that was worth loving you or the kindness you've shown? Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it so. Help me, Jesus, I know that I am. Now that I know that I've needed you so, help me, Jesus, my soul's in your hand. Try me, Lord, if you think there's a way I can try to repay all I've taken from you. Maybe, Lord, I can show someone else what I've been through myself on my way back to you. Lord, help me, Jesus. Lord, help me, Jesus. Jesus, my soul's in your hand.